Okay, we'll call the meeting to order, and the first order of business will be roll call
David Ferguson,
here.
Jenny Beverly. Here. Daryl Ginn,
Here.
Jim Klepfer,
Here.
Helen Cronin.
Okay, we have a quorum. Consideration of meeting minutes from August the 1st.
I move that we approve the minutes, August 1st meeting.
Okay, do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Jim, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay. Is Mrs. Adams here? Do you have your green card?
I do.
We'll go ahead and collect them, and then you can kind of tell us what you got going on here. Right over here.
Thank you. Here you go.
All right. Okay, tell us
Can we
what
get 'em?
you got.
Do you need my address?
No.
State my address.
Go ahead.
Okay, 1613 North Thompson Road, Madison, Indiana, 47250. We want to open just in our garage. We have a approximately 10 by 15 foot space off to the right as you walk in. And we would like to turn that into a single person salon, just part-time. I just want to do it right. Just go through all the proper, zoning, permitting and all that.
Yeah.
I really honestly plan only to work part-time. I just want to be home with my kids. I actually had a salon over on Polk Road before, but we went all out and built a whole separate building for that. But this, it's just really small and it's appointment only. Honestly, people around me probably won't even know that anything's going on.
Just you by yourself, one chair then?
Yep, just me.
Okay. You have plenty of parking on your property then?
Yes. There should only be one person there at a time. And either way, there's a lot of parking.
Anybody on the board have any questions or concerns? Anyone from the audience? Are we ready to?
Think we're ready?
Okay.
Findings of fact, the Board of Zoning Appeals, having reviewed the particular facts and circumstances of the proposed use, now finds adequate evidence showing that such use at the proposed location is A, the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the special exception will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare. True or false?
True. True.
B, the special exception will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted. True or false?
True.
C, the establishment of the special exception will not impede or substantially alter the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. True or false?
True.
D, adequate utilities, access, road, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided. True or false?
True. True.
E, adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed as to minimize traffic congestion on the public roadways. True or false?
True. True.
And F, the special exception will be located in a district where such use is permitted and all other requirements set forth in this UDO that are applicable to such use will be met. True or false?
True. True.
in any conditions.
I don't see no conditions.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Need a motion?
I move we approve the application.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
So you'll need to get,
Yeah, I'll get all this signed and I'll email it to you. If
Okay,
you
thank you very much.
want me to mail it, I can do that too.
Okay, whatever works best for you.
Okay.
Works. Thank you guys so much for your time.
all right, moving on. What do we got here? No, so- No. Oh. Is the people here for the kennel site? You wanna come on up? You have your green cards,
I do.
we'll get them, and then while we're going through them, making sure they're all there, you wanna kind of tell us what you got?
Yeah, it's like she said, I just wanna go through the proper procedures. We basically bred our standard poodle last year, and we ended up getting stuck with several of them because the dogs weren't selling. So we basically are wanting to put in a big dog house for our current poodles that we have until we do get them sold. Hopefully we can sell them. I'm keeping them groomed and everything. But we want to put in a 6 run. We're gonna have it pre-made and delivered by the Amish and put into a section beside the fence that we have currently on the property.
So I'm looking at an aerial of your
Mhm.
property here, so where would that kennel sit?
It will sit on the west side of the house. There's a fenced-in area there about probably,
Let's see.
I'm not very good with measurement, but probably about 50 by 100 feet on the west side. And then we were gonna put the kennel on the west end. So not the big area where it says 100, but on the other side.
Is there a house a little further west of where the kennel sits, sir?
Mhm,
That's not a house, sir.
mhm.
Okay.
No, there's no proper, I mean, just the Keys own that lot there, yeah.
How far off the property line is she? Can't remember the diagram.
I noticed you're buying this on contract.
Yes,
Are they in agreement? Does that,
yes.
I didn't see anything as far as they signed
Yeah,
off.
he
or
doesn't
anything.
have, he
Okay.
doesn't have a problem. Now, this is actually, we're going to put gravel down underneath of it with the 2-foot radius all the way around it. And it's movable. It's gonna be pre-made and delivered, so it's movable at any point in time.
No, ancestral structure on the side, it's 5 feet. On the bottom side.
What kind of dogs are these?
Standard poodles.
Okay. senior.
Yeah. Yeah, they're, the 3 boys are outside. The girls I keep inside with me.
So what's
And
the,
they have a separate area that they go into on the other side of the house. Question?
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
That's
interrupt.
okay.
So what's the maximum dogs that this kennel can hold?
This kennel will hold 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a 6 run and it's a deluxe kennel. So it has a walkway inside. And it has windows on the back, so we plan to put an air conditioner in there and a heater in there. The dogs can go into the warm area or they can go out into the kennel area, and then the fence, the gates on the outside of the kennel to the pen, the big pen, open so that they can run and play and exercise.
Let's see.
So after you sell these,
Yes,
so it's just a short term. is
Hope-
what you're-
yeah, well, yeah, yes and no.
I see
Um,
short term on.
Well, the
application.
short-term boarding is if I was thinking about possibly boarding a couple, every now and then to pay for the kennel. The kennel's quite pricey. So I was kind of hoping to do that, Since
To
we-
board other people's dogs, is that what you're saying?
yes. Not very many though, because I have 3 outside of my own. So, right now.
I mean, what's the minimum and maximum without getting a kennel license? Is it
Less than
four?
four,
Less than
four
four.
or more you have to get.
Does the board have any questions?
How far? Is there a pond close by?
It's behind.
Is it down
It's
over?
behind the house.
Down over the slope?
Mhm. It's,
Oh.
yeah, it's actually right behind the house part. It's not over where the kennel will. be.
Can, when you clean the kennel, can it be washed down into the pond?
More than likely, I don't anticipate it because the solid waste we will be picking up and disposing of like we do now. So it would just be the liquid waste and I use the chemicals that I use to clean with are all holistic. They're not any chemicals.
Is the pond on your place or your neighbor?
Well, it's half, part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little section, not very much, but a little section on our side and then the rest of it belongs to the Keats.
Any concerns in the audience? Do you mind coming up? You wanna, we'll bring you back. when we
Okay,
got-
I'll just go.
Yeah, that'd be best and. You don't mind, just state your name and
We're Gary and Diana Keith, and we, boarded a property that, has the request. So we own the pond and then the property to the west of where the kennel will be.
Okay.
And that, so, I think we had sent an email earlier, so I think that the question about the animal waste and the cleaning, she just answered that about what that will be. So, I think I'll scratch that one off. And then before coming up here, she showed us a picture of the kennel, which I don't know if she showed you guys yet. So that sort of answered our question about what it would be and what the space is. I did have a question that if this is approved, does that approval convey if they would ever sell their property? Or, okay,
It does. It runs with the land.
okay,
unless we put a condition on it, right?
You can, yes, you can put a condition on it that it's just for one owner. But generally speaking, special
Right,
exceptions.
right.
okay. And then, if, she hit it big with selling her poodles and wanted to expand, does she have to come back and ask for a different, approval, or is that just automatically? She can add dogs if
Yeah.
they want to.
If she seeks to expand the use or change the use in any way, then it would have to either be a permitted use or come through the same conditional use
Okay.
process, special exemption process that we're doing today. And then the
Okay.
board can put conditions on it,
Mhm.
including a limit to the total number of dogs, which then would have to be changed by, the only way to change that would be by further special exception.
Okay, so the renewal process is just if she wants to change, there's not like an annual renewal,
Right,
okay?
yeah, Jefferson County does not have a renewal on special exceptions.
Okay. All right, that answered that one. And then I think she answered some of the questions while she was talking about the dogs and because we had a noise concern. With that, but she answered some of those about right now the dogs and how many. So if once they get that established, and I don't know if this is even the place to ask it. And we said, hey, we would like to install a property or a privacy fence, can we do that based on this, or is that something we would have to take up with them separately?
Like a privacy fence on your property?
Right, if we said, we want to develop that property where the old barn was, that sits right behind the kennel.
I
Since,
mean, if it's on your property and it meets the zoning requirements as far as, setbacks, et cetera, height
Okay.
of the fence, then.
but
there's
that would
nothing
be
to do.
ours, that would be ours, not necessarily their responsibility. I
That's
guess.
correct, yes.
Okay, okay. That's, sorry, I wasn't
No, that's
making
fine.
myself clear. Yeah.
The dogs, I guess they'll be maintained full-time in the kennel in terms of full-time while they're there unless sold.
Yes, yes. They,
Okay.
and they basically stay outside right now, so more than anything, we're just getting our dogs and oversight the doghouse. I mean, somewhere comfortable for them and safe. Is basically what we're doing for the most part.
Is there any plans to deal with the noise in some way?
Well, I think that, I think you'll find that the only time they'll probably, ours bark right now all the time, it seems like, and I hear everybody else's in the neighborhood bark too, but, I think if they're properly exercised and they're not kept in there, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think, again, our concern is the volume of the noise when you get, say, 6 dogs or I don't. So I understand this, the amount of dogs will be 6 total, including your own or in this
That's
kennel?
including our home. I have 3 outside
Right,
and those 3 are gonna have their own kennels.
Okay.
And then there will only be 3, and I have 4 females in the house. So the 4 in the house, 2 of them may go out in couple of the other kennels.
right.
At some point, like if we're leaving for a while or something.
So you already have the existing dogs, you're just wanting to,
Yeah.
so you won't be really,
Unfortunately.
you won't be really expanding, you're just changing their environment.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have any more questions.
No. With my concerns about, they answered about their conveyance going and, the privacy, so, thank you.
Motion and 6 out, nine. You wanna come
You
back
want me
up?
to? Yeah.
We'll try to do this the right way. So. You're planning on having. In the kennel, you're planning on just the 6, and then you're still probably gonna have some in your house then, is that?
Oh, I have, yeah, the ones that are in the house, you really never hear them or anything. They do have a pen, a separate pen, because they're my females, so I keep them away from females.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they're separated. And unfortunately, I ended up not selling them, so I'm kind of stuck with them and I'm just trying to make them an adequate place to stay for the winter. Basically what I'm trying to do.
The only thing, in my opinion, is we ought to put a limit, if we a condition.
Yeah, I mean, just to them. If they say have to sell. That goes with the property.
If you don't put a condition on it, yes.
So if we were to sell, which we're not going to, but if we were to, then whoever bought the property, if they wanted to keep the kennel,
They'd have
they
to come
would
back.
have to come in here. That's no problem at all. I mean,
So
we
two
can, it's,
conditional,
Yeah,
one on the, have to come in and then
just for
limit,
them.
and then limit, how many dogs.
Yeah, I don't plan on boarding, more than 3 because 3 is the only kennels I would have open, you know.
But-
But that would only be for, have people go out of town on the weekend or holidays or something, it would be.
So when we do this, we have to do it for the whole property. So
Uh-huh.
you can't just say 3 and then you got set 4 or 5 and this and that. I mean, isn't that right? Or if we limit this, will we have to, it would be the whole property, wouldn't it? Not just what's going to be in the kennel?
I mean. The application is for the change in the use, and so the use change here is the addition of the kennel and the use of the kennel. I mean, you can, put conditions on, I mean, because it is an application for the entire property, but I mean, like, you can limit your consideration to
Just
just
the
what's being added.
outside
Yeah.
or just what, or the whole property, either one, are you saying then? Or
I-
what's your recommendation?
Well, I mean, so you're asking about dogs that live in the house, basically.
I'm talking, yeah, or how do we, I believe we need to put a limit, because you know how, in my opinion, the board might think different, but I think whatever the number is, 6, 7, whatever the limit, does that limit just consist of what goes in that kennel, or does that limit go on what goes on that property?
It can be either one, yeah, and because the use of the property is what triggers it, and the change in the use is for the purposes of adding additional features for boarding and keeping of dogs. So I mean, I think it's all fair game at that.
What's your
What's the
feeling?
county requirements for dogs? Is there no more than?
4.
Our ordinances say 4 or more. If you want to kennel 4 or more dogs, even for private use, you have to get a special exception. So private or public
So it's
use,
10 dogs.
4 or more. But she's asking for a 6-run
16.
kennel.
They're on the property.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but if she has 6 running kennels, 6 dogs out there, and 2 in the house.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
we
that's-
want to limit the whole property or what, whatever you guys think, I just think we should put a cap on it. So one way or the other, either on what goes in that kennel or what goes on that property, either one.
Would have to be the property, wouldn't it?
I would, my opinion, yeah, that's what my opinion would be.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely fair game.
How many dogs do you have in the house now?
I have 4 standard poodles, mhm,
Okay,
4 females, and then I have 3 males outside.
so you have total 7 then.
Well, I've got 2 little bitty ones. Yeah, believe it or not, my house is not a mess. They're very good.
So whatever the number you guys think. 7, 10, 8,
Well,
She's needing 7 now.
yeah, I've got 7 and then there'll be 3 free runs,
or what, maybe 10,
so. So that would mean 3 more besides what
to
I've.
7, so
Yeah.
10.
So you're talking 10. One, a
Theoretically,
limit of 10 would work.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
that'd be fine.
I just don't want to get you in violation off the bat.
You don't want me what?
To be in violation off the bat.
Well, yeah, because, I've got 2 little bitty poodles.
Yeah.
And they're old, so I don't anticipate having them for, a whole lot longer.
Okay, we ready to do findings?
The Board of Zoning Appeals, having reviewed the particular facts and circumstances of the proposed use, now finds adequate evidence showing that such use at the proposed location is the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the special exception will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. True or false?
Yeah, hold on,
Yeah, it's another question.
I apologize, this is more than I thought it was, the dog, number of dogs, even, I didn't know you had that many.
Well, see, that's just it, they're,
If I choose to object, will I have an opportunity? Or is that really a consideration here, I guess is my question.
This is anybody's opportunity to object to the application is today. That's the purpose of
Okay.
today's hearing. And then anybody who's aggrieved by the decision has the opportunity to appeal that decision to the court system.
Interesting question.
I guess I will object, I object to the number of dogs that's given.
So there's
Noise.
7 now. What would appease you? I mean, what's a fair number in your mind? There's 7 there now.
I already have, yeah.
And that's been really loud. So, I don't know, less, 6 or less, I guess, or, she mentioned 3 and I was okay with that.
Well, that would be, yeah,
In
that'd be,
addition, though.
if-
I didn't
yeah, it did,
realize
yeah.
that.
But see, the ones that are in the house, you, like you said, you didn't even know that we had that many. You just hear the ones that are outside, the boys.
Yeah, I heard a lot of dogs, I can't always tell you which
It's
one's
not.
which.
Yeah, well, the neighbor's dog.
No, I know. which
Yeah.
ones you're- I know,
Okay.
I can tell. It's
Okay, yeah, they have
Really
people.
close.
And where do you live? I didn't ask this earlier. Where do you live in reference to her house?
Pull that back up.
Yeah, pull it back up.
Is it this house back here on, it says 3, 4, 5, 6?
That's it, that's us. And so really, it's probably 300 feet maybe, because there's standing trees between us. I mean, it's not very far. Because the pond is right over the hill there, and then their house.
Okay.
I don't know that I think the number is, I'm not sure what you guys were talking about. I think the number's too much.
What if you
That's
didn't
just my
count,
opinion.
what if you didn't count the ones that were in the house? Because you don't hear those,
Okay, so the total number would be
3 outside.
3 outside in the kennel?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm still stuck on the fact that it's proposals a 6-dog kennel. So
Right.
I'm fearful that it's gonna be a 6-dog kennel plus whatever in addition to
Oh,
dogs.
no, absolutely
But
not.
if you approve a 6-dog kennel, will that be what she can have?
They're talking about improving the number for the property.
Okay.
If she
That's fine.
approves, if they just approve 6 for the property, she already has 7.
Yes, that's the thing,
So she can't be in violation of that.
right off the bat.
Okay.
But like I said, 2 of them are older and the others are the younger.
3 out in the kennel plus your 2 in the house, that's 5. All right, looking at that right?
No, that's not.
No, 2 of them are older dogs.
2 little bitty ones.
We'll move on and get to the conditions there at the end and see if we get that far then and go from there. So Lynette, if you mind starting all over again, I apologize.
No, that's okay. The Board of Zoning Appeals, having reviewed the particular facts and circumstances of the proposed use, now finds adequate evidence showing that such use at the proposed location is A, the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the special exception will not be detrimental to or endanger public health, safety, morals, or general welfare. True or false?
True.
B, the special exception will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted. True or false?
True.
C, the establishment of the special exception will not impede or substantially alter the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. True or false?
True.
D, adequate utilities, access road, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided. True or false?
True.
B, adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designated as to minimize traffic congestion on the public roadways. True or false?
True.
And F, the special exception will be located in the district where such use is permitted and all other requirements set forth in this UDO that are applicable to such use will be met. True or false?
True. And then the conditions and special exceptions, one is that it's for this current owner. So if she sells, then the next person would have to come in. And then the limit the dogs. What number? Probably should fall between 7 and 10.
Yeah,
I don't plan on having these adult dogs forever. I hope that I can sell them. That's the whole purpose. I ended up getting stuck with them after the litter.
So would you be comfortable, both parties, trying to do the 7 because that's what's there? I'm not gonna have somebody to get rid, do the 7, what's there, and then if you want to do more, come back in and visit with us.
Well, is there a way that we could limit how many I was able to actually board for people?
Outside,
Yeah, like 3, just to
well,
help me
it's gotta
pay
be a
for the
total
kennel.
number of outside, so if you have a kennel
That
of
would be
6,
5. Or 6. that would be
6, so
6.
we could limit to 6 outside dogs, is that?
You could do that.
That would suffice for me because the kennel is extremely expensive. And I would like to be able to pay for it.
So, Jim, or whatever you guys think.
if 6 dogs work for her. And that's fine.
And on top of that, if I sell the 3 that I have, then, that's gonna be 3 less. They're beautiful dogs. You guys wanna boot?
No.
Come on.
So that's just 6 outside dogs including the kennel. So if they're outside, period. Is that right? Is that what you guys want to use that number?
Do you guys have a problem? with that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
6 total outside, period. Are you guys?
I know what's about it. I just don't want it
And
to
then,
turn into
like I
12
said, if I
or
could sell
24.
I won't have them.
Be honest, whatever you think, that's it.
I say 6, that's what it was advertised, I say 6 on the property, that's just a go.
Get a motion.
It's just a short term,
You gonna make a move? You gonna move? You do?
that's just how I feel, that's just.
My main concern, if we just say it's to this, that, or the other, I think that's be nice in theory, but I'm worried that you might keep 6 in there and then I'm thinking worst case scenario. Just worst case scenario that you couldn't sell them or somebody, whatever, in something. I don't want you to all of a sudden feel obligated to keep more dogs in your house than you want to just because you don't want to break a rule or whatever. But I don't want to set you up like Jim said and not be compliant right away either,
Yeah. I'm not, yeah.
So,
The boys only come in to get groomed.
well, it sounds like the biggest concern is outside, what happens outside the house, not what actually goes inside the house. I think the noise is contained better in there than it is in this potential nice kennel you're gonna have. There's still
Are you gonna have help with this kennel?
It'll be me and my husband, and then I have a niece that works at a vet office, and she does that kind of thing, so she's planning on helping as well. And basically, it's not gonna be, I've got mine that I take care of, so it's not gonna be a big deal. I just want them to have somewhere warm and safe when it gets winter time.
Over something.
Mhm.
Can the BZA give like, she wants to sell part of the dogs, so give her 90 days to get it down to 6. Go with your 6.
You can put time conditions on things as well, yes.
So
is that too much pressure?
It's been a year and I haven't been able to sell them. They'll be a year old on the 7th.
Well, let's just do 7. That's what's on the property.
So
I mean, is that, Jim,
That
there? Jim,
So the condition is if the property sells, the new owner needs to apply for a special exception. And it's going to be limited to 7 dogs on the property.
So I won't be able to board anybody's dogs to help me pay for it? Is that what you're saying? Cause that would be it.
yes. I think that's what we're saying. Unless you get rid of, or 2 of the older ones pass away, or you move some.
Okay.
Now, that being said, you can always come back later after you've got it in and stuff and ask for, go back and do it again, we can look at increasing that number. There's nothing to say that you can't do that. I mean,
motion. I'll make motion to approve with the
conditions.
condition,
7 dogs.
7 dogs and
New-
variance just goes for them. Doesn't go with the property.
A second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Would you like for me to, mail you the approved information, these documents, or email it to you?
You can email.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, any other business? And
Mhm. Not that I'm aware of.
Who we adjourn the meeting?
next meeting, Tuesday, October the 3rd.
Hmm.
All in favor?
Oh,
I'll
who
second
seconded
it.
it?
I got it.
Jamie?
Yeah.